It appears the Justice Department's investigation of the January 6th insurrection is now expanding and reaching all the way up to the White House. NBC News has learned former Vice President Pence's chief of staff, Mark Short, under subpoena, appeared before the federal grand jury investigating the attack in D.C. Mark Short was with Mr. Pence at the Capitol as the rioters closed in, many calling for the vice president to be hanged. Short is the highest-ranking Trump administration official known to have testified before the grand jury. Meantime, we're now learning that former President Trump made some significant edits to that speech he gave to the nation on January 7th, the day after the violent mob of his supporters attacked the Capitol. Today, the January 6th committee released a draft copy of the speech with the former president's handwritten notes. You can see there the deleted lines which condemn the rioters and call for their prosecution. Mr. Trump crossed out a big chunk that said, "I am directing the Department of Justice to ensure all lawbreakers are prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law. We must send a clear message, not with mercy, but with justice. Legal consequences must be swift and firm." All that scratched out. He removed several lines that said, "I want to be very clear. You do not represent me. You do not represent the movement." He changed the sentence, "You belong in jail," to "You will pay." The committee also released more testimony from Mr. Trump's closest White House advisors and staffers, including the former White House counsel, Pat Cipollone. He told the committee that he wanted Mr. Trump to be more forceful in condemning the rioters.
In my view, he needed to express very clearly that the people who committed violent acts, went into the Capitol, did what they did, should be prosecuted and should be arrested.
Well, today, President Biden blasted the former president for failing to act and stop the deadly riot as he sat and watched it unfold on TV.
And for 3 hours, the defeated former president of the United States watched it all happen as he sat in the comfort of the private dining room next to the Oval Office. While he was doing that, brave law enforcement officers were subject to the medieval hell for 3 hours, dripping in blood, surrounded by carnage. Face to face with crazed mob that believed the lies of the defeated president. The police were heroes that day. Donald Trump lacked the courage to act.
The January 6th committee says it will consider issuing a subpoena to the wife of the Supreme Court Justice Clarence Thomas if she is not willing to testify voluntarily. Ginni Thomas has come under intense scrutiny for text messages she sent to President Trump's chief of staff, Mark Meadows. In them, she questioned the result of the 2020 election. The Washington Post reports she also sent emails to nearly 30 Republican state lawmakers in Arizona, urging them to help overturn Mr. Trump's election loss there. Let's bring in Daniel Perry now, former Deputy Attorney General for New York and former Assistant U.S. Attorney for New York's Southern District. Daniel, Mark Short going before the federal grand jury, what does that signal to you?
This is, I don't know if I would go so far as to call it a watershed moment, but it's certainly a turning point. As you pointed out, Mark Short is the first White House insider that we're aware of, at least, that has testified before this grand jury. We have heard news reports and we can see in almost real time that some of the hearing testimony, particularly that of Cassidy Hutchinson and some others, has really jolted the Department of Justice into action. And we have recently seen a flurry of activity, including the seizure of cell phones of certain of the president's advisors. We've seen some folks relating to the quote unquote fake electors who have been issued subpoenas. But again, this is the highest ranking White House official who we are aware of that has testified before the grand jury. And we're aware as well that he's got some pretty devastating information that could be highly relevant to this criminal probe.
Yeah, that's the criminal probe. Then there's the January 6th committee. It's been treading very carefully with Ginni Thomas, but now they're considering a subpoena. What factors into their decision making?
I think it's probably a sliding scale of how informative her testimony will be up against kind of the optical issues, the PR issues, the fight that they know she'll put up, the distraction it will cause. So they have a much better sense than we do, even after having watched 8 of these hearings, of how useful her testimony is. So no doubt they are weighing the benefits against the disadvantages, and will decide whether or not to seek her testimony against what her lawyers already promised will be a fight.
Daniel, then there's the criminal case in Georgia. The Fulton County District Attorney's Office there has its own spiraling investigation. Governor Brian Kemp reportedly expected to testify today. Some experts say the DA there could be building towards racketeering charges. Do you agree?
I think from the evidence that we've seen, she is building a fairly broad case. This is not a narrow case of election interference. Given the blizzard of target letters and subpoenas that grand jury has been issuing, and given that racketeering charges are sort of a signature of DA Willis's, I think that this is not just bravado, that she is trying to build a broad enterprise RICO-style case against, we don't know exactly who, but again, given the sheer breadth of these letters and subpoenas that have been going out, seems like she is looking to make a robust and far-reaching case.
And would you expect that criminal case in Georgia to move along faster than the federal one?
It's really hard to say. I think that the Attorney General, Garland, has some serious prudential and other, I hate to say political considerations, because the Department of Justice is not supposed to concern itself with political considerations. But he very well may be, from the, I would say, the slow walk that we've seen here. She, on the other hand, does not have some of those same kinds of concerns, but we already know that a lot of the recipients of these subpoenas are going to be putting up a fight. It could be some time before that winds its way through the courts, and a RICO investigation is a serious one. Takes some time to build from the ground up. So it could be a matter of months, could be longer. It's hard to say, but she doesn't have also the same kind of political timeline considerations around the election that the Department of Justice is likely to be considering.